I still get so excited when it works. Oh, dearie me. This is about my 5th or 6th one of these. But I still
It's that Jeopardy, isn't it?
It is. Okay, so we're all there. We are live in Facebook and YouTube now, so that's brilliant.
Wonderful.
Lovely to see you, Juliet. We
Hi,
were
Claire.
having a lovely chat, and I was thinking, we've spoken, but I
Yeah.
haven't seen you since I had you in on the podcast.
I know. Time flies, doesn't it? It's amazing. But
It's
lovely to see
ridiculous.
you.
And you, and I will put I'll put a link in the comments actually after this to your episode of the podcast. Although actually your episode of the podcast can actually be listened to directly on your page at creativityfound.co.uk as well. So
Okay.
it's which we will have links to in everything anyway. So just a brief little introduction for anybody who hasn't seen any of these videos before. Each week-ish, I'm going live on Facebook and YouTube, as we are now, with a Creativity Found collective member, so that we can chat about what it is they do and, communicate with everybody out there all about how this member can either help you to find a new creative outlet or to re-find an old creative outlet, or in some cases, how the collective member can help you as a small business owner to grow and thrive in your small business. So Creativity Found Collective, if you don't know, is a promotional networking membership for artists and crafters who also share and teach their creative skills. It's all about the activities. So whether that's workshops or courses or kits, that's what we do at Creativity Found, helping adults to, actually try some new creative things. And we also have a membership that is for business enterprises who can help those artists and crafters in their small businesses and hopefully give them a chance to do more of the arty and the crafting and less of the business that everybody has to do. So today I'm joined by Juliet Sargeant. And tell me, Juliet, how you help adults to get creative.
Oh, it's such a lovely thing to do actually, because I enjoy being creative myself, and it's lovely to give other people, first of all, the headspace. We're so busy. It's just lovely to take a day out of your usual routine. And at the Sussex Garden School, we just give you a lovely garden environment, a place to come and be with like minded people and try a new skill, or practice your old skills. And so the first thing is that headspace, and then a nice environment. Sharing, you mentioned sharing, Claire. It's just great, isn't it? It's so inspiring to be with other people who are equally enthused, and also to be with tutors who have that kind of knowledge to share with you. I think is just great. So that's what we do at the Sussex Garden School. We run workshops um, for all sorts of creative things inspired by gardens, nature, and landscape.
So it's not just gardening, it's other creative activities inspired by. So tell me some of the workshops that you've got coming up, because I know you have gardening ones and the other ones as well. So what kind of things are you doing there?
Yeah, so I'm a garden designer. So we started with garden design, and then I thought there's so much more to enjoy in a garden. So there is hands-on gardening. We've got Jenny, our tutor, who's a very experienced horticulturalist. So she does hands-on gardening, learning to prune roses, prick out seedlings, and then on the crafting side, we're very excited because we've got our established tutors like Wendy, who does pressed flowers. Jazz is an amazing glass artist, so she does fused glass, all sorts of amazing things with colored glass. And then we've got a couple of new tutors. We have Jenny Mercer, who does natural dyeing. So you go out into the garden and pick plants that you wouldn't imagine have these sort of vibrant, wonderful colors. And you unlock the colors and then dye something to take home. And then Teresa does weaving, all sorts of weaving. And she's got a workshop coming up which is using old fabrics. I don't know if you're the same, Claire, but I've got various sort of garments like children's dresses and things that I just
Mm.
have because I don't want to lose them. But they're just sort of hanging about in the cupboard or the bottom of a drawer. And what Teresa does is teaches you to weave something with these fragments of clothes or fabrics, so that you can keep it as a memento, which I think is a lovely thing to do.
It does sound brilliant. I am like that, and the fabrics as well. You have an item, but the fabric is lovely, but the item is not usable anymore for whatever
Yeah,
reason. But there are parts of that fabric that are usable, and this is that is such
yeah,
fun.
yeah.
That sounds really, really interesting. Um, you mentioned about sharing and how much you enjoy that. Why do you think, from your point of view, it's important for adults to be able to come and try creative activities?
Yeah, I think many of us have sort of happy memories of childhood, and that sense of sort of wonder and experimentation as a child, because everything is new and you're just going from one thing to another and it's all such a big surprise. But I think sometimes as adults we can get, a bit humdrum. And the thing about creativity and the importance, I think, for an adult, is that it sort of unlocks your inner child, because it's still there. You are still that child, and it gives you the opportunity to play. Adults need to play. So yeah, it's really important. And the with sharing creativity, I think being creative is about expressing yourself in some way, whether it's pottery or sewing, or you're expressing something of yourself, and by sharing it, you're sharing yourself. And I think that's why it's a gift to you, but it's also a gift to the person that you're sharing your creativity with. So it's a marvelous way for people to connect.
Yeah. Oh, that's really a lovely way of putting it. Brilliant. So, and do you find do you find sharing can be a bit oh, I can't think of the word, vulnerable, but also as adults experiencing new activities. And we talk a lot on the show, on the podcast, about people not wanting to try something unless they're going to be good at it. I mean, what kind of experiences have you seen and your tutors seen of the people that come to your workshops? And are they bold and confident? Does it take a bit of time to get into it?
Yeah, I think that's really true. I do find that particularly in my garden design workshops, because I think, as adults, there's two things. First of all, a lot of people, as they get older, they experience success in life, perhaps in job or family or whatever. And so taking on a new skill is making yourself vulnerable. You're really going back to a situation, a bit like being at school, really, where you don't know, and you don't know that you're going to be good at this. So, I mean, something that we're really keen on at the Sussex Garden School is creating an environment of encouragement and relaxation, and I do think that's
Mm.
important. It's somewhere to have fun and not feel that somebody's going to be breathing down your neck and saying, that's not right, that's not good enough. That's not what it's about at all. So I think you're right. You do make yourself vulnerable if you take on a new skill, but I mean, the rewards are wonderful and they're to be had if you just step into the unknown, I think.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like a very encouraging way to do that. And I think that's something generally we just need to promote, that there are places that you can do that and you can safely and happily go and take part in activity. So that's brilliant. What about the wider community? I mean, do you feel it's important to be, I mean, you're a member of the collective, which is fabulous.
Mm.
Do you feel an importance for Sussex Garden School to be involved in a wider creative community, and what kind of value do you get from that?
Yeah, I think it's really lovely to be to be in a creative collective. Oh gosh, for so many reasons. But I think sort of personally, from that, talking about encouragement, you know, when you're running a small business, starting a new venture, um, it is great to have other people who are doing the same, like-minded people, people who've had similar experiences or similar worries, who can encourage you, advise you. I think that's really, really great. And um, and then from a, you know, from a just a purely practical business perspective, it's great to have people who have similar you know, business
Mm.
experiences and things to share. It's yeah, it's a lovely thing to do.
Yeah, yeah, we had an online meetup yesterday, and I had gone there with a particular topic of conversation, which we did cover, but it, based on the people that were there, it kind of morphed around a bit, but it became something that was useful and actually led us towards something that we can cover in more detail in the future, because it's something that's needed. So, yeah, and I just thought it's good to also get together and have a chat, isn't it?
It is because I mean, running a small business, it can get lonely because you have quite a lot of responsibility on your shoulders. So just again, just have a bit of headspace, a cup of tea, a chat
Yeah.
online. You know, it's just nice.
Yeah, yeah, brilliant. So, what about future plans? Do you have plans going forward?
Yeah, so we're growing all the time, which is lovely, and that's one of the things I think about running a small business yourself, because you have the agility and the flexibility. So when I meet somebody creative, and I think they're lovely, I sort of say, oh, yeah, do you fancy doing some teaching? So yeah, we're growing all the time and taking on new tutors. And in the summer, we'll be moving to a new studio, which is lovely because quite a few of our courses are at different places, depending on the subject. So, for example, we do a pressed flower course at a flower farm so that people can go out and look at the flowers growing and press them. But we'll also very soon have our own studio, so that we can run courses from a home base as well in West
Yeah.
Sussex. So that will be very exciting. Yeah.
Oh God, I love a studio. I love it when people get their own
Yeah,
premises.
and well, it's lovely because it means that you can get a bit messy,
Mm,
and of course we can store a lot of our things,
mm,
paints, dyes, colors, whatever,
yeah,
at the studio,
at the
which is
place.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll have the best of both worlds. We'll go out for some places and also at the studio.
Okay, so it's Sussex Garden School. So tell me just like briefly about the locations and how easy it is for people further afield to get to you.
Yeah, well, it's great because we do find that people are okay to travel to us. We get people coming from London, we get some people coming from abroad, which is amazing. So our venues are Sussex based, and they vary depending on the subject. So maybe it might be a cut flower farm, or it might be a garden, a private garden, which is a lovely place to visit, or actually at a garden centre. We have
Mm,
quite a few workshops at the garden centre, um, so they vary. But we try to make sure that they're accessible, or that there's parking, and
mm.
yeah, it's a
Yeah.
good way to enjoy a day.
Yeah, you're getting double, aren't you? Because you're getting your workshop and you're getting to visit a lovely place as well.
Yeah, that is the idea, really, to have a lovely environment just to come and relax. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it sounds absolutely fabulous. Thank you so much, Juliet. In the comments or whatever it's called, the description for the video, I've put the link to Sussex Garden School page at creativityfound.co.uk. And if you go there, you can find links straight to Sussex Garden School website and to Juliet's social media. So you can find everything there. Like I mentioned earlier, Juliet's episode of the Creativity Found podcast, because Juliet actually trained medically before becoming a garden designer.
A while ago, but yes, yes, I did.
So that's a brilliant story. So do have a listen to that. And in the meantime, so that's another thing I just wanted to mention about the technical. So this stream I've done on Riverside, which is a platform that I record the podcast on. So I have also put a link in the description to Riverside and to Buzzsprout, who host my podcast. If you're interested in podcasting, live streaming, do feel free to drop me a line, because I've practiced this stuff. I can maybe give you advice. If you do use the links and pay for a subscription on anything in my links, then I will get a few pennies towards the Creativity Found podcast. So that would be even lovelier. But otherwise, everything you need to find about Juliet and Sussex Garden School is everywhere at the moment. It's in my link in bio. It will be in these comments and things like that. But in the meantime, thank you so much, Juliet. It's been lovely to catch up and to hear about how the classes are expanding. And I love the way you said about, I meet a nice creative person and then I ask her to come and teach, which is how I work. So thank you so much. Do have a look at all the courses that Juliet's got going on at the moment. And yeah, and I'll see you soon.
Bye, Claire. Bye, everyone.
Okay, press my button.